We arrived to Iran to help our client to deal with labeling of the dairy production. A part of the dairy products made at this plant is being supplied to the Russian market and has to be labeled according to the new legislation for track and trace. In order not to get involved in a long-lasting labor-intensive process affecting the company and its staff, and something that is not the primary field of company's activity, they approached us to provide them the labeling solution for their dairy products. Sabah Industrial Group is not only one of the biggest manufacturers of dairy products in Iran, but in the whole Middle East. It's a huge holding consolidated 28 different enterprises and plants. Our new customer approached us to integrate the labeling system into the production line at the plant. At the time of contacting us, the client had no labeling solution to work at the Russian market. The plant itself has already been fully automated for the barcode labeling. Being on that market, through the mass media, we found out about the new regulation under which dairy products have to be labeled mandatory for track and trace starting 1st of June. We were worried and didn't know what to do, especially because our case was more difficult since it's about import and not simply about manufacturing, which is the case for Russian manufacturers. Therefore, we were discussing the possible solution and were searching for it for a long time, looking for the right partner to work with. After listening to the customer, several solutions were proposed. It's a one ERP. Since it's a big company, we suggested the implementation of the Cleverence mobile data collection device and software as a barcoding solution. We started the project about 2 years ago. We first began with a market analysis and then proceeded with planning the product launch. At the end of 2020, we were already able to make large batches. In the first quarter of 2021, we supplied our newly developed product monthly. It was a 1.5 kilograms cream cheese. We supplied 12 cars monthly. Mobility was an important factor for our client. The ERP system should be accessible anywhere and anytime. To make it possible, we decided to implement Cloud 1C system. Since our client is very mobile and is often on business trips, such a system would allow him to get access to any information anytime and everywhere, from ordering barcodes to any reports needed. Sabah Industrial Group is not only about dairy products manufacturing, but also about packaging and logistics. It also has a fruit and vegetable cultivation unit. So it's a big company. But today we will deal with barcoding of dairy products which will be supplied to Russia. These are 1.5 kilograms cream cheese packages. We will take a look at how it works. Here are the milk and water reservoirs and everything else needed for the cream cheese manufacturing process. Then, after the preparation, it comes here to the ultraviolet disinfection line. Here, the solid bit will be separated from the liquid bit, so we'll already get an almost ready cream cheese. At the end of the production line there is a barcode labeling machine. Right now we can't take a direct look at the labeling process because it is being set up. But we have a ready-made material to instruct and train the staff to work with our software and to aggregate the ready product for supplying to Russia. The cream cheese will be supplied to Russia in this kind of package. Unfortunately, at the moment, the barcode labeling part of the production line is being adjusted and tested. For this reason, for training, we will not use the original packaging but printed tops with a ready data matrix. We will scan these tops and show how to pack items into labeled boxes by scanning barcodes with our mobile device Warehouse 15 Milk Edition. The whole process is structured as following. At first, the client starts Cloud 1C from his computer. Then, with a digital signature, he logs into his Chestny Znak profile and orders barcodes, which then will be downloaded straightly to ERP. After that, he can send it to the production site, where barcodes are printed and being applied on the product. With a Cleverence mobile data collection device and software, the company staff can then check the scalability and the quality of barcodes. After package items are placed into labeled boxes, all data can be transferred to the ERP, from where the information can be then transmitted to Chestny Znak. Later, the aggregated product will be supplied to a subsidiary company in Russia and distributed to the sales partners. For this purpose, the product have to be correctly labeled from the beginning. Here, once again, aggregation plays an important role. We scan each barcode to check if it scans to avoid any further problems with it later. For example, at the checkout. The decision was made with regard to the future changes in December 2023, where the production with a shelf life over 40 days will have to be marked with an excise stamp. We are already prepared for this change because an aggregation with Cleverence software will make it possible to shorten the time needed to fill the barcodes into the UTD and customs declaration significantly. Many might think that labeling is a hindrance, but in long term it brings a lot of advantages, since companies which will not implement it and will continue to work on a legal basis will leave the market sooner or later, while fair companies will stay and dominate the market. So even if it might be complicated at the beginning, it will have a positive outcome. Thank you guys for your help and for coming to Iran. I think everything is fine right now. I am happy with the result, and I am looking forward to an even more closely and productive work with you. Thank you a lot.